Good afternoon. Today I want to talk about another element of emotional intelligence. Last week we talked about self-awareness, and as we framed that, it was based around our growth through a hierarchy for management and leadership, and the foundation of that is emotional intelligence. There's four elements to it. First element, self-awareness. The second element today is about self-motivation and self-management. So just to get us started today, EQ. EQ is not just about being nice. And we framed EQ last time round saying that EQ is about the control of our emotions at work. That's not a strict definition of that, it's just how we like to say it, just to play it down a little bit. It's about how we control our emotions at work. So we're saying this week that EQ is not just about being nice. And what do we mean by that? EQ is about getting results, for yourself and for the team. So it's not just about being nice, not just about being everybody's friend, not just about having lots of warmth and empathy, not just about being kind. All those things are really important, of course they are. But it's about getting results as well. So it's understanding our emotions and how to control those emotions in the work setting. And it's about getting results for ourselves and for the team, effectively generating results. So there's a good place to start first. And again, just think about it's about self-management. It's about self-motivation. This series is about management and leadership. We spent some time on that last week and the week before. Now we're talking about the EQ proportion of that, and we're going to ask the question of, what type of manager and what type of leader are you really? From experience in management and leadership roles, I think as you're going through that, sometimes very difficult to have enough self-awareness to be able to create the narrative to say this is the type of manager or leader I am, unless there's this type of intervention which starts to ask you those sorts of questions. So from my personal experience, did I know as I was going through the different stages of management and leadership what type I was? I think upon reflection and hindsight, yes. And then later in my career, really started to understand, and now start to understand what type of manager and leader I am and what I aspire to be as well. So you've got to ask yourself that question: what type of manager and leader am I? And am I getting results effectively for myself and for the team using emotional intelligence? Just to open that up using some sort of behavioral traits and elements of talent analytics. If I asked you some questions around how do you formulate opinions, and if you were on the extreme of being very dogmatic or inconclusive. Now either of those are extremes, and either of those extremes will get you a set of results, not necessarily the right results, but they'll get you a set of results. If I asked how you formulated driving in your style of management and leadership, are you harsh most of the time, or are you permissive most of the time? They're extremes, and each of those again will generate results, maybe not the consistent results that you're looking for or the effective results you're looking for. And also think about your power in the organization or in your team. Are you very dominating, or are you very self-sacrificing? Again, extremes, and will generate results, maybe effectively, maybe not. But essentially, we've got to generate results through leveraging ourselves and leveraging the team. And to do that, we need the right knowledge, skills, and particularly behaviors to do that. We paraphrased last week about Marshall Goldsmith, one of his phrases: what got you here will not necessarily get you where you want to go. And that really means it's about behaviors. The further up this growth through a hierarchy ladder, or the ladder of promotion you're going, what got you to a point will not necessarily get to the next point. And you'll need to change the behavioral dynamics of your management or a leadership style. What we know is that these three elements that I've described so far about how we formulate opinions, how we are driving our teams and results, and the power that we have in the organization, that if we have the gentle traits, the gentle dynamics here really coming to fore, as in being inconclusive, being permissive and self-sacrificing, this is what formulates what we call the Bermuda Triangle. This is where work gets lost. This is where our work gets lost and the work of others gets lost as well. Just have a think about it. If we're inconclusive in the way that we formulate opinions, then people aren't really sure what we're about. If we're very permissive in the way that we're driving in the organization, then maybe some people will not do as we want them to do. And if we're very self-sacrificing, means we're really way too helpful, then maybe some of that work just comes back to us anyway. So this Bermuda Triangle is where work gets lost. If you're too far on the extremes of being nice, that's why we said at the start, EQ is not just about being nice. It's about having a healthy balance of what we call the dynamic and gentle traits of management and leadership. All the way through this Grow Through hierarchy and the series that we'll bring to you, and behind the scenes, the talent analytics and the behavioral competencies, they're all looking at the balance of dynamic and gentle traits for management and leadership. Really important to understand that. It's a balance of the dynamic and the gentle. Some people say the hard and the soft. You can call it what you wish. But really, it's not just about being nice. It's about delivering good results with a balance of these dynamic and gentle traits. That brings us nicely into, we looked at self-awareness last week, and this week's about self-management. So we need to be able to manage ourselves. We need to be able to understand the behaviors that we're exhibiting and at times modify those to suit the scenario, suit the scenario. And it's having that flexibility to be able to do that. And without self-awareness, you won't be able to do it. Then comes your self-management, how to get that balance of those dynamic and gentle elements of management and leadership. And then we're into the self-motivation. Once I'm sufficiently self-aware and managing my emotions well, how do I get that self-motivation? And the self-motivation is to generate results for yourself and for the team. So just open up this a little bit more and think about some other definitions around self-management and self-motivation. What we would like to be thinking is that an individual can strive to achieve excellence, that the individual takes action to benefit from opportunities, has a positive mindset to pursue challenging goals, is adaptive to change whilst staying focused on those intended goals. So all the way through that definition there's a lot of emphasis about excellence, about moving forward, about seeing opportunities, about challenges, about goals, about focus. These are some of the dynamic elements of EQ and of management and leadership, and that's a balance of those against, yes, being nice, to have warmth and empathy, to have good listening skills and good collaboration skills. So there's a nice blend of those traits. So some advice for the audience today then, really start to ask that question. What type of manager and leader am I? What is my style? Can you describe it? Could you describe it as being dogmatic, or could you describe it as being permissive? Think about what we've said in here so far. Just think about your style. Have you got a good balance? Have you got an extreme at times? Or have you got an extreme most of the time? Are you achieving the results that you want to achieve? And if you're not, it's always best to look at yourself as an individual. It always starts with you as an individual. Self-awareness, self-management, self-motivation. So understand your style. Ask yourself the question, what type of manager and leader am I? The more you can define that, the clearer it can become about what the next step needs to be, which is, well, what am I going to change to get myself in balance? And in balance is the balance of the dynamic and the gentle elements of management and leadership. And then how to affect that change. What am I going to do on a routine basis to make sure that I can be more in balance with the dynamic and gentle, or the hard and the soft elements of management and leadership? And always a good feedback loop for that is, what's the results? Yeah, what is the results that you're achieving at any point in time? So take home for today then. As we said already, EQ is not just about being nice. We wanted to say that just to maybe tease a little some of the emotional intelligence conversations that are going on at the moment. Maybe sound a little bit too soft, sound a little bit too, that's not for me, because I don't see that as being a management technique. I think that emotional intelligence is an amazing and it's a broad subject, but I think it's time to bring it into practice in the real world. And it's not just about being nice, okay? It's about controlling our emotions at work. That's how we'd like to see that. But why do you want to do that? You want to do that to achieve results in a good way. In a good way. Not just to smash the results and at the expense of everybody around you. It's about achieving those results with the team and leveraging yourself and the team in every scenario possible. And to reflect upon self-awareness from our previous video. And today I think about self-management. What type of manager and lead are you? And the self-motivation elements. How do you look to achieve performance and excellence? How do you take action to benefit from opportunities? Do you have a positive mindset about achieving challenging goals? And can you adapt to change while remaining focused on your intended goals? And bring all that to the team as well to achieve results effectively. So thank you for listening today. Thank you.